Good evening, Facebook family and friends, End of Watch family and friends, and Beyond the Call of Duty family. This is Ray, and I've got the privilege of starting tonight's Nightcap edition, brought to you by 1350 Distilling in Colorado Springs. And I've got Jesse sitting here with me tonight.
Good evening, everyone.
And we're going to go ahead and get things started here while JC's wrapping some stuff up. So I want to talk a little bit about today and some of the awesome visits that we had. So we started our day off heading to Guilford County Sheriff's Office. We were there at 8 o'clock this morning, and we were there to honor two fallen heroes from Guilford County, Deputy Lakia Rose, and there we go. Thanks, Jesse. See, you got this part of it. Her end of watch was October 21st. And Master Corporal Norman Day, and his end of watch was December 12th. So this department was really, really awesome. So this department was really awesome. They picked us up this morning at the hotel, took us into to Guilford County, and which is located in Greensboro. We had a great escort in, pulled up, and the department was just really. The department came out in full force. It was really a great showing. They had some of the big brass there from the department, and they had one thing I noticed when we were riding in was they actually had helicopters following us in.
Actually, that was the second.
Was that the second stop? Okay, that was the second time. I'm my bad. So, but anyway, but we did have a great showing for the department. They came out and talking to the fellow officers, talking to the fellow deputies, these were two officers that really dedicated themselves to the community and serving the community. They had nothing but great things to say, both about Lakia, and Master Corporal Norman. Lakia actually was only with the department for 10 months. So she was brand new. It was always her lifelong dream to be a deputy sheriff, and she accomplished that. And she, again, gave her life doing what was in her heart. It really was special. And Norman Day was another one. They just had nothing but great things to say about him. They just talked about what a remarkable pillar he was in the community, how much he meant to his fellow deputies. He was always there. I talked to one deputy who talked about how he always made people laugh. They said that he always had a sense of humor, and he always found a way to make people laugh even in a tense situation. And really was kind of just neat to hear the stories about these two. We didn't have any family there for either one of these. There was not immediate family, which was it happens for various reasons. Not sure exactly what the situations were in this one that caused that to happen. But it does happen, and we understand that the department seems to be there for the families. They seem to be there to support the families, and it was all it was a great stop overall. What was your take on the stop, Jesse?
I just took pictures of it. It was very emotional for the most part. I saw a lot of people as they were touching his picture. A lot of people came up to the picture and took photos of him, and it was just. I thought it was incredible. It brought such a community together.
And Jesse does a lot of our photography, and he's one of those ones who captures those moments of the hugs and the tears and the hands up on the pictures, and he sees a lot of that stuff, right up front. And this was definitely one where you could see, even though we didn't have family there was definitely a lot of emotion coming from the officers and from the senior staff and everything else. So. It was really cool. Kay, anything from the first stop? No? Okay. Just asking, you're here. So want to make sure you're included. So anyway, our second stop. So we left Guilford County, and this was the big escort.
This is the big escort. And as you were being escorted to our second stop, we encountered two helicopters flying over us, which is amazing.
News media, they caught us. We So let's go. So Guilford County escorted us all the way to our rally point for Durham County. and we met at a way station along the highway, and were met by multiple different agencies. I know Orange County was there, North Carolina Highway Patrol was there, obviously Durham County was there. Durham City Police Department showed up. We had 6 or 8 motor units between Durham County and Durham City, and then we had cruisers from, like I said, Orange County and Durham County and North Carolina Highway Patrol. So they did a great escort for us from the way station into Durham, where we had our event. And there we had 2 officers. So we had the first one was Lieutenant Eric Carpenter. Oh no, I'm sorry. Senior Detention Officer Alexander Pettyway. I'm sorry. And his end of watch date was April 24th. And then we also had Lieutenant Terry Sampson, and his end of watch was November 14th. Now, here we actually did have both families with us. And Durham PD, or Durham County Sheriff's Department, did a pretty awesome job of having a really cool event set up for us. Yeah. We pulled up, and they actually had a scripted event set up, and they had plenty of media there. Both families were present, which was really cool because they had an opportunity to see their loved one on the trailer. Again, Jesse, I saw the pictures, and you've got some really awesome shots of the family, actually getting up there and seeing the trailer and interacting with their loved one. Gave us an opportunity to share stories and hear stories both about Officer Pettyway and Lieutenant Sampson. And again, 2 people who made a huge influence on their community, on their department, on their families. I was moved. The sheriff actually came out and did his little speech, and when he was introducing the families, there was a representative for the Pettyway family that came out and talked about how she grew up. She grew up with him across the street, and they lived in the same neighborhood. He knew him from when he was a little kid.
They grew up together,
and that really just made it personal. Each one of these stops that we do, when we talk about these officers, we talk about the legacies and the history and the impact that they have in the community. It really touches you when you meet other people that aren't family that they made an impact on. So this woman was amazing. That just really took. She really said a lot when she spoke from the heart, talking about how she watched him grow up, and she watched him grow up in the same neighborhood across the street, and just told some stories about him. That made it personal. It wasn't just his career as a law enforcement officer, but it was his life as a human being.
His impact on her.
And how much he impacted her. So really made it special. Really made an awesome. It was just awesome to hear from a non-family member's perspective to really humanize him and really talk about what an impact he had, not only to his family but to the community as well. Because the officers that we talked to, they said the same thing. He was a great guy. He was always there, and he was there to help, and he was there to do whatever he had to do to get the job done. And I talked to one deputy who talked about how he was always the first one there for his shift. He always showed up early, and he was always the last one to leave. This is one of the deputies that worked with him, and said that he was always they would try to get there a half an hour early for shift, and he'd be there 45 minutes early. And as they were all changing back into their civvies and changing back into their clothes after work, he would still be sitting there, cleaning his boots, polishing his boots up for the next shift. He always was the first one in and the last one out, and that just says a lot about his character. As far as Lieutenant Sampson's family, again, they're still grieving. He's got a young son that the sheriff made a point to bring out, that he is now part of the department's family, and that the department will always be there for him as he continues to grow up. And it really hits home when they introduce the children, and when we have an opportunity to meet the children, because it isn't. We talk about all the time about, you hear JC talk about the heroes, and how important it is for us to support and to love and to always be there for them and to never let them be forgotten. It is so important that we not only forget the names of these heroes, but that we don't forget the heroes.
Yeah.
And
To not let them feel like alone.
they're not alone, and they can't be alone. And that's why it's so special that we've got Amy and Tracy with us right now, because each one of these stops is healing for them, and each one of these stops is inspirational to them. But in turn, for each of these families, they are an inspiration, and they provide a certain piece of healing, a certain part of healing for each of these families as survivors, because all of us can lend our hearts, and we can give our hearts, and we can open our hearts and our feelings and our emotions to these families and care about them and love on them and pray for them and support them. But we haven't been through it. We're fortunate enough to not to have been through it. And that's something that Amy and Tracy bring that we can't provide. So that, watching them interact with these families, if you look at some of the pictures that Jesse and Lance take and post, there are so many of them that are hugs and tears and embracing that really show how much it means just to be cared about, just to be loved. And when you talk about this mission that we're on this summer, today is day 57 of 84. And, how many families have we met? How many departments have we visited? That a lot of times that's all it takes is a hug. It just takes an embrace. It just takes somebody to say, I love you, and we're here for you. We're here to support you. And these families all need that, because it does. It means the world to them. So after we were done with Durham County, they gave us an escort out of the city and took us to a gas fuel station before we staged up for the next one, and had a chance to kind of regroup for a little bit and get rested up, have some lunch. It was just gas station food, but it was all good. What was the name of it? Sheets. That's what it was. Sheets. So everybody kind of fended for themselves for lunch today, but gave us a chance to kind of regroup and get ready. And then we headed off to the North Carolina Highway Patrol. It was our third stop. And there we were there to honor Trooper Nolan Sanders. And again, this is a perfect opportunity of a young hero who was taken way too early. And Trooper Sanders, we had several of the guys from his troop that were there with us, and just talked about what an amazing guy he was. Had an opportunity to meet his wife, and she is still grieving, and she is still hurting. And this was a very emotional stop for many of us, because it was still so fresh in so many of their minds. One of the things that stands out for me was when we pulled up, we had the location at the training facility for the North Carolina Highway Patrol for their trooper academy, their police academy. And as soon as we rolled up, the first thing that we saw, go ahead and pull the picture up, was the entire class of cadets that are currently in school, enrolled. And there's 62 of them left, or 64 of them left, I'm sorry. Class that started with 85. And as we roll up and we talk about the impact that each of these stops have for each of us and what they mean for us, it really was special to see them lined up, standing at attention. And, I don't know how much they were prepped. I don't know how much they were told about what was coming. But this was one of those moments that hits you, because it really shows them the sacrifice that they're signing up for. I walked down that row. They have a beautiful memorial set up. Open that picture back up. So they've got a beautiful memorial set up at the end of the tunnel where the cadets were standing.
On each of that's the bottom part. On each of the pillars.
Yep, each of the pillars. Yep.
There's the names of fallen officers.
They have the names of the fallen troopers from going way back. There's 4 pillars, and there's 3 sides. The orange triangular, so there's 3 sides to each pillar that has the names and end of watch dates of the troopers from North Carolina that have lost and sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. And it was really neat, because as you look down this picture, the memorial is straight down and right through all the cadets. So we had the opportunity to walk down and see the memorial. And I have to tell you, as a father, as a grandfather, um, these were just babies. These cadets are just so young. My heart and my prayers go out that St. Michael just keeps his wings surrounded around these cadets, because they're signing up for a career that is no longer a job. And I talked to the captain about this today, that anyone who decides to become a police officer, go into law enforcement at this point in time, it's not about a job. It's not about a career. It's not about something that is there to get rich off of. It is a calling, and if it's not in your heart and you're not called to do this, this is not the career path. And as I was talking to the captain about it, he said, they weed through so many applicants now that are in it for the wrong reasons, and they try to narrow it down. But these young men and women that are choosing a career of servitude, they're choosing to put their lives, in the line of fire for their community on a daily basis. The uniform shirts that they wear, I don't know if you can tell in this picture, but the uniform shirts they have are you can tell they were all wearing their vests underneath, and they're just in training. They're not out there yet, but they're being taught to wear their vests every day, because it's something they're going to have to do. And there are not many careers out there in the world today that you have to wear a bulletproof vest to go to work every day, except law enforcement. I mean, that is the first and foremost. Even in the military, there are days where you're not going out on patrol where you don't have to wear your vest. So law enforcement is the only one that you have to put a vest on every time you go to work. And these young men and women that are signing up for this, seeing this memorial, having this memorial come to their department and pull up onto their training grounds, made a huge impact. Talking to the lieutenant, talking to the captain, talking to one of the training sergeants, they walked down and they told these cadets, this is the risk that you take. This is the career path that you've chosen to be, a sheepdog, and it's a career that they're choosing to ultimately make the ultimate sacrifice if need be. So it was very powerful for me. Talking to the wife, they've got a young child. Had the opportunity, JC gave me the opportunity to discuss Blue Line Bears, and we're going to definitely make some bears for the family and help bring some healing through the Blue Line Bears. I have to tell you, this was a very tough stop for a lot of our team, and it was just very emotional. As we have Amy with us, I know this is a very tough stop for her, just because it was a State Department, it was a trooper, it was a lot of the things, as I talked to Amy, a lot of the things that we talked about this afternoon, she was very happy that the department is taking care of the family. She was very happy that they're there to support the Nolan family and be there, the Sanders family, to be there for them and to do whatever they need to do. But Amy even told me, she says, this is exactly what happens. She says, anytime there's any type of an event, they have the cadets out there, they bring the brass out, they bring people out. And it was very tough for her. Again, that's all part of the healing process. As difficult as it was for Amy, I saw her embrace the family. I saw her, hugging troopers. I saw her getting hugs. I know that they went and searched after some patches and some challenge points for Amy and Tracy, just to make it special because of their sacrifice. Just shows the true love and support that comes out from these state agencies. Because again, some of them you get it from, some of them you don't. But the state agencies typically do it right, and it was just nice to see that they're there to support the Sanders family, and there was definitely no question in my mind that they're there to support them and there to care for them. So, anything else from that stop? Was there anything else that stood out for you?
Pretty much said it all.
I can talk, so don't be afraid to say, "Hey, Ray, let me talk about something." Yeah, overall, and it was a beautiful campus. Like I said, just having that memorial in the background, I know there were some pictures taken, so make sure you guys check out our Facebook page and some of the posts from this, because they got some really awesome pictures of the trailer with the cadets in the background, and the cadets with the trailer in the background. Excuse me, the memorial, as well as the visit. So again, it was just a really awesome venue, and it was a really awesome department visit today to be able to honor Trooper Nolan Sanders. So our fourth stop and our final stop for today was at Nash County Sheriff's Office, and that was in Nashville, North Carolina. And we were there to honor and remember Deputy Jared Allison. And his end of watch was December 1st of 2020. This was another really cool small town department visit. We pulled in about 40 minutes early, and I know we gave him a heads up we were coming early because of the way the schedule worked. We were able to get there earlier than scheduled, and had the opportunity to pull in, and literally as soon as we pulled into the parking lot, the community was there. I mean, a lot of people. And we had the family there, we had the community there, we had the department there, we had the city there, we had people from neighboring agencies that were there. They all came out, and again, heard the same thing. Jared Allison was another young deputy that wanted to be a deputy. That's what he wanted to do with his life from the time he was a young child. And he died in the line of duty doing what was in his heart, which was serving his community. And we, as we talked to the fellow deputies, and as we talked to the family, and we talked to the community members, he was just one of these up-and-coming superstars. He was one of these shining lights that everybody knew he had a great future ahead of him. He always had a smile on his face. He always did the right thing. I heard that from several deputies. He was one of those guys who wouldn't cut corners. There were times that, I heard them talk about, other deputies telling him, well, you can do this and it would take a little bit less time. And he'd be like, nope, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it right. And, always did it with a smile on his face. He always did it with pride, knowing that he was doing the best that he could possibly do, and doing the best that, doing it the way he was trained to do it, and not cutting corners. So we, again, having the opportunity to talk to family and talk to his fellow deputies, even the officers from the other departments, I was really impressed that we had another county sheriff's office, and we had the police department from several other agencies that came out, and they all knew him. They all knew who Jared was, and they all knew what his story was, and they knew of him, and that it really is remarkable for such a young deputy. We see that a lot with the older people who have had time to establish themselves in the community, who have had time to, make a name for themselves. But he was young, and
like you said, he was an upcoming.
He was an upcoming shining star. Absolutely, and people absolutely loved him. So again, it was 4 department visits today, and I would say 4 awesome visits. And I think that every one of these departments today had something special to give. And we absolutely, we honored a total of 6 officers in these 4 visits, and every single one of them has something special to give, and something special that their legacy will live on, and something special that their families will always remember and always cherish. And our goal as part of this mission to Ride to Remember, this is a mission of love. This is a mission of remembrance. This is a mission of caring. We are traveling the country. We are spending 84 days on the road, going from department to department, state to state, through rain and shine and heat and humidity and everything else. But when you boil it down, this is a mission of love and caring and compassion. And every day that we have the opportunity to wake up and make a little bit of a difference in a family's life, or make a little bit of a difference in one of the coworkers' lives, or make a little bit of a difference in the community's remembrance of one of these heroes, our mission is succeeded. And you know, every little bit helps. I talk on my personal blogs every night about how it's so important to reach out to these survivors. It's so important to reach out to these families of these heroes and let them know that their loved ones aren't forgotten and their sacrifices are not in vain. And their sacrifices will not go unnoticed, and that they are not forgotten. I reach out and I tell people all the time, find them on social media, find them in your community. Use resources like ODMP, the Officer Down Memorial page, and find the families. They're there. The information is out there. Give them a hug. Don't turn away. Give them a hug. Give them a walk up and shake their hand and say, you know what? I love you. I'm thinking about you. Thank you for your sacrifice. I'm thinking about your loved one. Thank you for the sacrifices they made for our community to keep us safe. Because that's the biggest part of this. There is not one family that I've met yet this summer on this amazing journey, on this amazing mission, that hasn't appreciated that. Because that's all it takes.
That's something that someone. I think a smile, just seeing a smile on their faces and having them talk about that they lost, it's just emotional, and I think it relieves a lot of their heals them.
Healing is a great word, because that's exactly what this is about. Okay, real quick, I know you're not on camera, but what have you taken away from this? What have you seen from the families, just from our love and our caring and our compassion towards them? What have you seen?
A lot of them don't really know that they are appreciated just for being who they are until you walk up to them and say, "Hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm so sorry for your loss." And acknowledging that their grief is valid. I know a couple of our team members, Tracy and Amy in particular, had lost a lot, obviously. And they said that the grief process was the hardest for them because they feel judged for how they grieve. So I think just acknowledging to those families who lost people that grief isn't a one kind of, this is how you do it.
One size fits all.
No. So just acknowledging that and helping them work through that process in whatever way that may be. Even throughout all ages today, I met a little kid named Colt, who was the shyest little guy. He did not want to talk at all. But I think just even having him put on this hat, he got so excited when all the faces weren't pointed towards him. When it was just him and his family, you could see that he really appreciated such simple things. It's just like someone giving him a hat. And being able to see his dad on the trailer, I think, just hit him a little different.
And you're absolutely right. Everybody grieves differently, and that's the thing to remember, is that you never know what it's going to take to make a difference in somebody's life in acknowledging their grief. Because it doesn't have to be a tear. It doesn't have to be a cry. It doesn't have to be something sad. It can be something very positive. Just that acknowledgement. So many of the families that we've met this summer, and I will tell you that all of the families that I met today say the same thing. They are so moved and so touched with the fact that a group of strangers, we didn't know them. We don't know these families. We may know their stories because we did some research, but we don't know the families. We are strangers, and we love, and we care. And that's what this is all about. Because if there was a lot more of this in the world would be a much better place. JC talks about that all the time. But you know what? We're here to share love. That's what we do. And
encourage them.
And encourage them. Exactly. It's knowing that they're not alone. And that's what's so important with having Tracy and Amy with us. They provide such an inspiration and such a twist that we can't provide. You and I can't provide. JC can't provide. We've all lost friends. We've all lost someone close, but none of us have lost a loved one. And that's something that Amy and Tracy have the ability to share and have the ability to relate to these families that we can't. And I watch. Admittedly, I watch tearfully at every stop when Amy embraces a spouse or a child or a mom or a dad, and when Tracy embraces a spouse or a mom or a dad or a son or a daughter. Um, Jim, I have to laugh. Jim has a way with children, and every single stop where there's a young child, he will find a way to break to make him smile. And the last couple of days have just been amazing. I've seen him with several, and that just weren't able to be broken. And all of a sudden, you look over and there's Jim holding a child in his arms, or he's putting his hat on somebody. And again, these are healing things for the kids. This is we're going beyond the moms and the dads and the spouses and the grown children. We're talking about the small young children. And Jim just has kind of that grandpa feel. He just knows how to do it, and it makes all the difference. So it's really neat to see how all of us come together to make this mission of love and compassion and caring special for everybody. So let's talk about. Do you know how to pull up comments?
I do.
You do. Cool. So let's pull up some comments real quick for tonight. So.
Quite a few pies and hellos.
There's JC.
Where's JC? Cynthia, am I not good enough for you tonight? JC's just trying to give us all a chance to get out here. It's been 57 days, and he's given us a chance. So, and yes, Cynthia, you'll get a chance to see me again a little bit later tonight. So, let's see here.
Melissa. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Melissa. Good to see you tonight. Billy, hi, End of Watch family. Good to see you. And again, thanks for all the support that Delta gives us. It's huge. I've seen some of the posts that you guys have made. You had some veterans that you guys have taken care of the last couple of days. And you guys are just amazing at the Honor Guard in Atlanta. So let's see here. This one, Kyle, had dinner with this group, and I got to say, amazing people. Hi, Kyle. Great to see you, and glad we could have dinner with you tonight, and glad you could join us.
Yeah, it's very nice to meet you, Kyle.
Yeah, very nice to meet you. Emery, hi. It's not JC, but it's Ray. If you don't know me by now, then we got real issues. But had a great time talking about Matt today, sharing his story with several deputies, several motor officers from Durham County and Durham City Police Department. Talked about him a lot today, so it was really neat. Hi, Andrea. Let's see. Here's Andrea. Hi, everyone. That's it. Man, I'm not feeling the love tonight. Everybody else gets a lot more comments than I do. So let's see, who's this? Janie. Can't wait to hang with you guys on August 18th. Looking forward to it. That's our arrival date back in Spokane. 27 days from now, I think. So we're on the countdown, but looking forward to seeing you guys. Brian McConnell, there's another one from the Delta Honor Guard. Thank you so much. You guys are the amazing ones. You know what? We're not the amazing ones. The heroes, the 339 heroes in that trailer are the amazing ones, and their families and their heroes are the true amazing ones. We're just here to support them. So anyway, so there's the comments for tonight. So we're going to start off, and let's get back to pictures. Sorry. So let's do a real quick recap of our 6 heroes that we talked about tonight. First one was Deputy Lakaya Rouse of the Guilford County Sheriff's Office, and Master Corporal Norman Day of the Guilford County Sheriff's Office. Our second stop, Durham County, we had Senior Detention Officer Alexander Pettyway and Lieutenant Terry Sampson. So those 2 heroes from Durham County, and then went to North Carolina Highway Patrol for Trooper Nolan Sanders, and then Nash County for Deputy Jared Allison. So those were our 6 heroes for tonight, and we're going to toast with 1350 Code 4. So we're going to give one toast real quick to those 6 heroes for tonight. To these 6 fallen heroes, thank you for your sacrifice. To your families, the heroes. Know that you are not forgotten. Know that you are not alone, and know that we are here to support you. So to these heroes, may they rest in peace. From 1350, Code 4. Wow. And let's talk about 1350 real quick while we're on that subject. 1350 has just released, they are our nightcap sponsor, and they sponsor our nightcap edition every night. They have just released a limited edition bottle of the Code 4. It is double wax dipped. The neck is double wax dipped, and there is a end of watch challenge coin with St. Michael on the back of it, embedded into the wax in the cap. There are only 300 bottles of this available, and you have to call the distillery directly to get it. So go to their website at 1350distilling.com, or better yet, go to Colorado Springs and visit them and tell them that Beyond the Call of Duty is where you found us, and that we told you to go visit. Jake and Phil and Mark or Mike are a great team of guys, and they love they just absolutely love what we're doing, which is why they're supporting us. They have the opportunity to take care of you. They will. They'll give you a tour. They'll let you try their experience. They're great. You have to wait a couple of years, but they're just a great group of guys. 150% behind our veterans, our first responders, and our law enforcement. They just do an amazing job supporting several different organizations, and they just have they've got a passion for what they do, and they do it right. So let's talk about tomorrow. We've got a really busy day tomorrow. Actually, I'm just kidding. Tomorrow is actually a travel day for us. So we will get up tomorrow and we'll head out, and we're going to be leaving here in the Battleboro, North Carolina area and heading to the Virginia Beach area. And okay, yeah, that's all it is. So tomorrow is I'll show you a nice blank piece of paper. We have a travel day to get to the Norfolk and Virginia Beach area. Sunday is our maintenance day for the trucks. Oh, I'm sorry, for the bikes. Trucks don't have one this time around. So this will be a day at the Harley dealership to get the bikes all maintained and taken care of. Again, for us, even though it's not a department visit day, it's still a work day because we have to get the bikes taken care of. So we will be in the Norfolk, Virginia Beach area the next couple of days, and then we'll head further north into Virginia for a couple stops on Monday, and then head north. So I'll let JC or whoever talk about that tomorrow or Sunday. But I want to thank you all personally for supporting all of us on this trip. This has been an amazing summer so far. This has been life-changing. I've fortunately had several opportunities through my connection with Delta Airlines. We've had several Delta employees that have come out and visited us along the way. Many family and friends have come out so far on this trip. And every single one of them says the same thing, that no matter how much you watch the nightcap editions or you watch my blogs at night, that coming out and seeing what we actually do is life-changing. Seeing the impact that we have on these families and these departments is life-changing. So if you have the opportunity, if we're anywhere near where you're going to be, check out our website at endofwatchride.com. Go to the events tab, find out where we're going to be. We're basically heading up the East Coast now. So we're heading, Monday we'll be heading up to Virginia, then we head up into Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, Rhode Island, and then back into Pennsylvania again, and then starting to head across through the Midwest. So if we're going to be anywhere near you, come and see us. Come and see the support that we have. And I guarantee that this will be life-changing. I guarantee that you'll realize what we're doing, what an impact it makes. So thank you all. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for supporting us. Like us, share us, friend us, tell your friends about us. It's important to get this message out. The more people that know about us, the more love and support we can give to these families. So thank you all. We love you, and we'll talk to you later this weekend from Virginia Beach. Have a great night.